Guys, today's video is about Ashish, a candidate who very excitedly was about to go to his studies, basically to UT Dallas in the US for his education overseas, for his master's. And what happens is when he goes to the consulate, he goes to the embassy, over there the officer tells him that, look, your visa is denied, it cannot be approved right now, you can apply again later. Now, that's not the end of Ashish's story. First, take a look at how his interview went. Let's see.
Hi, please pass your I-20 and passport.
Sure, officer. Here you go.
Thank you so much. Which university are you going to?
I'm going to UT Dallas, officer.
Okay, and how many universities did you apply for and how many acceptances did you receive?
Officer, I only applied to one university and I fortunately got in.
Alright, and why this particular university?
The innovative curriculum at UTD focusing on both engineering and entrepreneurship is why I chose it. It aligns with my aspirations of going ahead and creating a startup later on in the field of renewable energy.
How are you financing your education and living expenses in the US?
My parents are sponsoring me with savings of 50 lakhs and I also have a student loan of 25 lakhs.
Could you provide more details about your parents' occupation and their annual income?
Officer, my father is a banker and my mother is a homemaker.
Alright, and do you have any relatives residing in the US?
Yes, I have two cousins in the US.
I'm sorry, I can't approve your visa today. Here's the slip with the details of your rejection.
Now guys, before we proceed any further, I think it's important to tell you a little bit about me if you've stuck around till now. Right? I've been doing this for 5 years. I've seen more than 20,000 cases and I've gotten them approvals with my team. We have seen cases that you will not believe could get a visa and they got it. So Ashish's case to me personally was quite simple. Whether it's about getting the interview slots, interview preparation, verifying finances, we've done it all over the years. And after 5 years in this industry, I think there's barely any case that we haven't seen until now. So again, if you need help with cases like these, you can always reach out to me on WhatsApp, whether you're a first timer, rejected case, student, parent, tourist, worker, doesn't matter. We can help. Now, before we actually understand why Ashish was rejected, I want to tell you the top 6 reasons as to why any visa is denied. And this is specific to student visas, of course, in this video. The major reason on almost all the cases, directly or indirectly, is the lack of home ties. That means you may not return back to your country. Other reasons may include lack of finances. You don't have enough finances, they don't know how you're going to survive in the US. It could also be due to a bad university ranking. So you could get potentially a better university in your own country. Why are you going such a bad university in the US and spending so much? It could also be due to previous rejections. Remember, when you get a 2-1-4B, you need to show a change in circumstances. Something should have changed. If you go again with the same exact circumstances, chances are you might end up with a rejection. It could also be due to close relatives in the US who are already there, who are settled down there or in the process of settling down there, and that can potentially impact you negatively, unfortunately. And finally, if you talked about, let's say, any kind of plans to work in the US or utilize your OPT even in many cases, well, you might just be rejected because of that. Now, in Ashish's case, I would say these two factors took a major shine when it comes to his rejection. Lack of home ties and close relatives in the US, that is essentially why he was rejected, I believe. On top of that, Ashish's inclination towards only going to a particular university in the US, that is UTD, he didn't even apply to any other schools. That was a bit odd as to why he only wants to go there. But I believe if Ashish explained it a bit better, or he had a little bit more strategy to it, he could have easily cleared the interview with these circumstances. Now, Ashish's story doesn't end here, of course. Ashish unfortunately had to defer. He could not get another appointment, and that's essentially when he came to us. Ashish went on to enroll for the Visa Application Help Service, and that's really when I started working with him, my team started working with him. Now remember that in the visa application help, we don't just take on anybody, but we prune the cases and we give a visa guarantee if we onboard you. So we know that if you're onboarded, you will come out with a visa at the end of the day. There's not going to be anything extra that you have to pay around here or there. Visa has to be there. And that means if you get rejected, we have to do your work again, and this time for free. So let's talk about how we were able to help Ashish get his approval. I would say the major factor here was thorough training, and there's really nothing else. We added some home ties, and the home ties we added were done by the means of number one, a letter from his employer, which essentially stated that they would be happy to employ him back at a senior position once he comes back. Of course, that meant once he comes back after his degree is finished. We also, number two, added research papers. So in his case, we actually added two research papers, which meant that he was already researching in a particular area which he wanted to again augment by going to UTD. Now, this research was very specific to a research already going on over there, and hence I believe it also helped. Keep in mind that for Ashish, there was no change in circumstances if you think about it. It was really just things that we built around its circumstances. Now, here's how Ashish's next interview went. Take a look.
Please pass your I-20 and passport.
Good morning, officer. Here it is.
Thank you so much. All right, you're going to UTD. What are you going to study there?
Yes, officer. I'll be studying Master of Science in Energy Management.
Did you receive any other admissions?
I only applied to UTD, officer.
All right, and why did you pick UTD for your master's?
It was mostly due to the curriculum's alignment with my ongoing research. I recently published a research paper in the field of global carbon management, and that's something that Professor Dawson already has a research group in at UTD. And that's essentially why I'm very excited about joining the same.
All right, sounds good. I see, however, that you interviewed previously for the same program. Could you tell me a bit more about the last interview?
Yes, officer. See, it was my first interview. I believe I may have been a bit nervous, and due to that, I may not have been able to express myself clearly.
I see, and how do you plan on supporting your finances for your degree?
My parents are sponsoring me with a savings of $60,000, and I have an education loan worth $30,000 as well.
Please tell me a bit more about your plans after your graduation.
Officer, I have this letter from my employer stating that once I finish off with this degree, I will be hired as a regional energy manager back here in India. One of my colleagues has also taken the exact same pathway previously, and I would like to follow in their footsteps.
All right, congratulations. I'm approving your visa. Best of luck with your study abroad journey.
Thank you so much, officer. So you see, rejections can be overcome. You just need the right strategy and enough preparation. Ashish is now pursuing his MS at UT Dallas. He actually went last spring itself. But again, the point is that it is possible. And of course, the name over here, I did not want to use the real name. So Ashish is not the real name of the candidate. But there are so many of Ashish out there who are not able to make it to their universities simply because of these minor mistakes that they make. And it does not seem like a mistake, I know. But I hope that this video helps you learn how to actually avoid such rejections, and if you still need help, you can take a look at the visa application help just like Ashish did, or you can WhatsApp me if you need any help. You can also subscribe to the channel and follow us on Instagram, where there's a lot more content like this that we create for you, and I hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye and take care until next time.